What is going on, y'all? Have you ever heard the saying, every card has a story? Um, so, if you've been in the hobby for any significant amount of time, you've probably heard that. And I feel like that saying is probably true about 80% of the time. Rarely do we buy something just because. A lot of times we buy stuff for nostalgia or for it's our favorite player or our favorite team or so on. And so there's a reason we buy stuff. So every card has a story. Um, this particular card definitely has a story. So I'm going to go ahead and show the card. This is 2020 Topps Chrome WWE um, Kevin Nash 1 of 1 Superfractor. Okay, so there's the card. Now I'll tell the story. Um, so my family and I just moved from Virginia Beach, Virginia on December the 4th. So December 4th, we headed out. I bought this card on November the 21st on eBay, and I paid $151. And I remember I wrote the eBay seller and was like, hey man, I'm moving December the 3rd. Let me give myself a little buffer there. I'm moving December the 3rd. Can you get this to me? And he was like, oh yeah, no problem. I'll mail it out today. And he did. And he gave me tracking that day, and all was well, right? Well, this was kind of at the beginning before all this insane USPS delays that we see right now, January 15th, 2021. So mail was running good, it wasn't nothing crazy. And I'm like, my God, dude, like I really, really want this card. I've pretty much stopped all eBay purchases at this time, but this was kind of an exception to the rule. It's a Superfractor, man. So I purchased it. He sends me the tracking. I'm watching it every day. And then out of nowhere, this card just started playing ping pong like across the country and was like going everywhere. I'm talking like it made no sense. The dude lived in Detroit, and it went from Detroit to New York to Norfolk, which is like 45 minutes from where I lived. And then it went down to Tallahassee, Florida. And then it went to, oh man, where'd it go from Tallahassee? Atlanta. And then it went like somewhere in Texas. I forget where it went from Texas. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like, what the freak? Like, what address did this dude write on this envelope? I was so freaking angry. And December the 4th came, and my family left, or I left, we left, and I didn't have the card. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I think it was December the 8th. Let me look here. Yeah. Well, no, hang on. Yes. So December 8th came, and it said it was delivered. And I was like, December 8th, my family and I were just pulling into Houston, Texas to spend time with my family for about a week. And I'm like, dude, you have got to be kidding me. Like, how is it delivered? My mail is forwarded. Oh, dude, I was like so upset. And so that's pretty much it, right? Like, that's kind of where that story ends. So we spend time in Houston. We get out here to California, and we're setting up shop. And it's around December 21st, 22nd or so. My daughter gets a Facebook message, and it's actually someone that moved into our old house. And they're like, hey, we got a couple packages here that showed up for y'all. What's y'all's address? We'll get them out to y'all, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, awesome. So I asked my daughter, I'm like, ask them if they got any small padded mailers. And they're like, nope, none of those. And so now I'm getting angry because now I feel like they're lying to me because the USPS tracking says it was delivered. They're saying that they don't have it, and I'm like so pissed. Well, I don't want to do a chargeback on eBay because it's not the seller's fault. That's how I feel anyways. Like, it's not his bad that my family moved and mail being forwarded, not being forwarded. It says it was delivered in Virginia and we're in California. It's not the seller's fault. And so I was prepared to take a $151 loss, but I was more pissed off that I was losing out on the card. And then yesterday came, January the 14th, and I was checking my mail. I get a ton of packages in, between Slab City and submissions and always buying and selling and trading. Dude, like any given day, probably 5 packages is probably the minimum I get any given day. And so I rip it open and there it is, man. And oh my gosh, I was so freaking excited. I was like, dude, I thought this card was lost, never to be seen again. So there's Big Daddy Cool has finally made it home. So I purchased this on November the 21st, and it finally, I guess, reached its destination on January the 14th. So there you go, man. Every card has a story. So it's Friday, and I haven't been to work to work in 45 days because my family moved and all that, and I am scheduled to go into work in about 4 hours for the first time in 45 days, and so I'm pretty nervous. I'm never excited to check into a new command because there's new people and new rules and new policies, and just kind of so I'm never really excited, but I can actually say I do have high anxiety about it, the unknown of checking into a new place today. But I'm very excited because I also feel like this is the first step of the last phase of my career. So starting February the 1st of this year, which is 15 days from now-ish, we'll start the 36 months until I retire from the Navy, and that will put me at 22 years. So today, I feel is a pretty big day for my family and I, because like I said, it's the first step of this last phase. So that is that. Until next time, y'all, adios, be safe, bye-bye. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll have a great weekend. Toodles.